Hello everyone, it's Keep God Tech Guy back with another video, and today I'm going to be looking at the Moto E4 and the Moto E4 Plus, which are Motorola's new budget phones. So let's look at what these new E-phones have to offer. Now, the Moto E4 and E4 Plus were announced recently, and currently the E4 is available at Verizon for just $70 for the E4. So you can get an E4 currently at Verizon for just $70. But what can you get for $17? Well, first of all, for design, if you're going to be getting a phone this cheap, you won't obviously get like an augmented design or unibody, but you will have a plastic cover with a 5-inch HD display also, and it will have colors such as liquor black and fine gold, and you have life ready features such as you have a water repellent coating, which is very nice to have on a phone of this budget, and also it even has a fingerprint sensor. And for performance, you have 4G support with a quad-core processor, and it runs on Android 7.1 Nougat. And for the cameras, well, the camera, it won't be at one of the highest you can get, but it will have 8 megapixel autofocus with low light conditions on the rear, and the front camera will also be 5 megapixels, where so you can edit your lighting and so forth. And for battery, the Moto E phones are known for great battery, and on the E4 you have 2800 mAh batteries, which is not the highest as compared to its at the E4 Plus. But for the full specs, it will be available for all major US carrier networks with GSM, Android 7.1 Nougat as the OS. Also, it will be running as Qualcomm Snapdragon 425 with 1.4 GHz with 4 cores, and also you can get it with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 427 with the same 1.4 GHz and quad core. You'll have 2 GB of RAM and 16 GB of built-in storage. The dimensions will equal as to 9.3mm thick and 72mm of width and just 144.5mm in height. And it will weigh just about 150 grams, and the display resolution will be 720p with 1280 by 720, which is HD with 5 inches with up to 60 million colors, and the cover glass is a 2.5D cover glass with full lamination. The battery is removable to 2800 mAh battery with a 5/10 watt rapid charger, and it's water protection with water repellent coating, and supports networks with GSM, CDMA, WCDMA, TDD, and FDD, and it has supports for bands of every one of those categories. The rear camera will be 8 megapixels of capacity with aperture f/2.2, which will not be the best aperture you can get but the phone is a budget phone, so if you're looking for more photogenic photos, it will not be as photogenic as flagships that offer better aperture like f1.7, but f2.2 aperture is a bit okay even for a budget phone. And the lens will have a width of 71 degrees with autofocus, and you have HDR with panorama. The front camera is 5 megapixels with the same f2.2 aperture and 1.4 microns, and it's 72 degrees wide lens with fixed autofocus. Video capture will be up to 1080p at 30 frames per second, and you only have a slot for one SIM card, but it will be using nano SIM. It has a headphone jack and connectivity of micro USB and not USB Type C. but it's okay if you not have fully transitioned to USB Type-C yet. And you have Bluetooth version 4.1 built into this thing. You will have 2 speakers and it will have no NFC. It have sensors with the GPS location sensors, vibration, proximity sensor, light, accelerometer sensor, magnetic compass, and fingerprint reader in some models. And for the E4 Plus, it's a bit bigger with having a 5.5-inch display and having also a bigger battery, whereas the battery will be 5000 milliamps, which is 2 times bigger than the E4, and the design will be just quite similar as in the E4. As a matter of fact, the E4 and E4 Plus kind of look more similar to the Moto G5. It's just that they don't have metal design, but the display will be bigger than E4 with having a 5.5-inch display, and it will still have the same model plane coding and a fingerprint sensor, and it will also have camera just as similar as to the E4, but the camera capacity on the rear will be 30 megapixels, which is a bit better than the E4, but the same 5 megapixel selfie camera. And you have 4G speed supported on this, running in same Android 10.1 nougat and a quad-core processor. But the difference in specs is that it will have running on this Qualcomm Snapdragon 427 alone, and you can get it with 2 gigs of RAM, or you can choose between 16 and 32 gigs of storage. And the dimensions, it's slightly thicker, having 9.55 millimeters and a width of 7.5 millimeters and a height of 155 millimeters and weighs 181 grams. The display is the same resolution of 1280 by 720, but 5.5 inches with 267 ppi and the same 2.5D glass. It will have embedded 5000 mAh battery with 10 watt rapid charger. Same model plane coding, same network support. Everything else is basically the same. It's just that the difference in battery, storage, and the camera having 20 megapixels with f2.0 aperture with 78-degree lens and 1.12 lens on the rear, and on the front camera the same f2.2 aperture like on the E4, but the lens is 72 degrees, and neither of them have NFC, and will come in the same iron gray and fine gold. And so that is it. Keep regarding tech guys, signing up with the full specs of the Moto E4 and the Moto E4 Plus. Tell me what you think about these two in the comments. Share this video if you find it interesting, like, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.